People talk about guilt as if it's an instinct. That the second you do something wrong, you feel guilty, but I don't. What I'm feeling is power. You always join the bit of the story when they're sorry, when they're desperately begging for forgiveness, but there's something before that, there's now. In the space after the act and before the consequences, when you've got away with it, when you're walking out of an unknown door, back down unknown streets and you still feel it thumping in you. Dawn's breaking, dew settling and you're skipping home flying on the thrill of it. You can taste it, even back here, the quiet click of the door, the tiptoe in. The alcohol's wearing off too quickly, I want it back. Our bed and all the stuff that makes up life, our life, and I don't feel like a traitor. I can lie here whilst another man's saliva dries off my lips and I can remember another man's face bearing over me and I enjoy it. I enjoy that all this seems new again. Having been with someone else, it's like I've left the room for the first time in years, come back in and realised that this is the man I once thought I might marry. And it won't occur to him I could have done what I have. There could be all three of us in this bed and it wouldn't even cross his mind. That much trust. Yesterday it made us strong, but this morning it makes him weak. And let's say I tell him, he'll stare and gulp breaths, big, heavy breaths, and then the anger will rise and he'll stand and it will seem like something in him might break. And I'll just sit in silence. I'll squeeze my eyes shut and try not to hear him because he might say some things that are true about what kind of person that makes me, and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see what I've done in his face. But really what he'll feel is a sense of thievery. And everything I thought was soft and feeling will have been his ego speaking. He'll want to know who the other man was, how big his dick was, if he was better in bed, and this baffles me as a question. I mean, it's bold, isn't it, that was he better than me? And if I answer honestly, yes, Ben, he was much better in bed than you, it's barely even a contest, then I'll be lying. I've done the same. I've asked that question. I do remember how it feels. I remember being the unwitting victim, sleeping quietly and faithfully, and then it's said or you just know. And then you're angry or more desperate to stop the moment when you accept your insignificance, when you realise that you are not enough. So you try to defend it. Was she better than me? Bigger tits? And you realise you wouldn't be asking if the answer wasn't yes. And then the visuals. You see him with her, the room, her cheap knickers on the floor. You like to think they're cheap, they're probably not. They're probably more expensive, more see-through, more size 8 than yours have ever been. And then you see his hands on her and his face in the moment that you were entirely forgotten. You wonder whether during the hour that he's fucking her, if you even crossed his mind, and you didn't. You wonder whether during the past year and a half if you even crossed his mind, and you didn't. But he was never entirely forgotten, no. I didn't forget him for a second. He was in every pant, in every gasp, in every drink that got me drunk enough to want to see what it might take to make me visible. Such deliberate infidelity will never be enough. Stay or go. Tell him or don't tell him, to him it won't make the slightest difference. When you're invisible, there's no way left to win. No more buttons left to push. You see, the one who stops loving first has it. Get left in the game and you're fucked.